So if you ask most credit card websites about what the best credit cards are that don't run a credit check, you're going to get a list of secured credit cards that have annual fees. Now, frankly, fees suck, and so do secured credit cards. So in this video, I'm going to show you the 5 best credit cards that you can apply for with no credit check, no annual fee, and no security deposit. Now, really quick before we hop in, if you want to support what I'm doing here, feed my ego a little bit, one thing you can do is scroll down a little bit on the page, click on that little like button, scroll down a bit further, and then for the YouTube algorithm, let me know what your favorite flavor of ice cream is, and let's hop right on in. So card number 5 on our list is the Horizon credit card. And I just want to preface this by saying, do not apply for this credit card. Please do not apply for this credit card. Okay, this is an example of what you do not want to get. The other 4 examples are going to be things you do want to get. But I like this credit card so much. It's just such a crazy concept to me that I had to include it in this list. So it doesn't run a credit check, obviously, or else it would not be on the list. But essentially what you're looking at with the Horizon card is it is a store credit card for a dropshipping website that sells coloring books, essentially is what you're getting here. So you are getting a credit card. They're going to auto approve you for a $500 limit. Everybody gets approved for this thing. There's no credit check. They don't care who you are. They don't care what you've done in your life. They just want to give you a $500 store credit card for their dropshipping website. Now, you might be wondering, this sounds like a pretty decent deal. Get this credit card, don't even have to use it, whatever. But the credit card's only going to report to one credit bureau, and they won't tell you which one that is. So it's anyone's guess who they're reporting to. And additionally, there's no annual fee on this card, and there's no interest. So, sounds like a pretty decent deal. But where they get you is when you sign up for this card, they automatically roll you on to a $25 per month subscription called their monthly membership benefits, which is a collection of basically 4 totally unrelated things that you probably don't need in your life, including discounts on specific prescriptions. You get a free consultation with a lawyer every couple of months. This stuff it's just random stuff that they threw together and charge you $25 a month for. And they don't even tell you they're going to do that. They hide this stuff in the terms and conditions that they know nobody's going to read. So you think when you're signing up for this card, it's just like a free card, no annual fee, whatever, because on the page where you apply for it, they don't mention this at all. But then when you dig into the terms and conditions, you realize, oh shoot, I'm actually paying $25 a month for this card, aka $300 a year, and I had absolutely no idea. So you don't want to apply for this card, even though there's no security deposit, there's no credit check, but there is a very hidden annual fee that you will be paying on the Horizon card. So ditch that one, get that one out of your brain. We're going into number 4, and now we're talking about the good ones. So credit card number 4 on a list of cards that are not going to run a credit check or a hard inquiry on your report is the Self credit card. Now this one's number 4 because you gotta jump through a couple different hoops to actually get this credit card. So essentially, Self is this company that offers you credit builder loans, which is a way for you to build credit as a beginner without needing to actually get a credit card. Now, they recently started offering a credit card as well that kind of works in tandem with their offering. So with your credit builder loan, essentially you're making a loan to yourself, you're making monthly payments to yourself, and Self is reporting that to the credit bureaus to build your credit score, which is great. And so essentially what you can do is if you have one of these credit builder loans, you can graduate that into a credit card. And the credit card is going to be secured, not necessarily on a deposit, but on the credit builder loan that you're establishing. Okay, so to get this credit card, you need to have a credit builder loan with Self for 3 months, which is a pretty big hurdle, which is why we're coming in at number 4 here. It's not the best option, but if you already are thinking about getting a credit builder loan or you have a credit builder loan with Self, you can just kind of use that loan as collateral for this new credit card. Now, there's not going to be a hard inquiry here, but the only requirement is that you have one of these credit builder loans, you made on-time payments for 3 months, and then they will basically automatically approve you for the card. You don't even apply, you just kind of enroll for it. You say, I want this card, and they're like, okay, great, what do you want your limit to be? And then based on the credit builder loan that you have, you can kind of establish what you want your limit to be on the card. So kind of a decent option, kind of a secured credit card, so definitely not the best option. So let's dive right on into option number 3, which is going to be the Chime Credit Builder credit card. Now this is another credit card, you'll see a theme here. Credit cards run by these small fintech startups. So Self is a small fintech startup, Chime is a small fintech startup, number 2 is a small fintech startup as well. And so why we're seeing all of these fintech startups is because these guys are really innovating in the space. They're not just doing the same old thing where they offer you a secured credit card with a $50 annual fee and they give you a $200 credit limit. Like that's these guys realize that model is so outdated. Nobody wants those things. They're garbage. And so they are really innovating in this space. So the Chime credit card is definitely a secured credit card, okay? But it doesn't really work the same way as normal secured credit cards do. It's kind of like a cross between a charge card and a debit card and a secured card, and they put all these things in a bowl and they blended it all up and they came out with this this credit builder loan product credit card thing. So you're not going to find any fees. You're not going to find any interest rate on this card, which is kind of why it's like a charge card. But then at the same time, the limit on this card is not preset. So you don't apply for this card and get a limit. Essentially what you do is you need to have a Chime spending account. Okay, so another theme here with these last two is that you need another product from this fintech company to kind of establish this thing. But basically a Chime spending account is just a free checking account that you can get. They'll ship you off a debit card and you can just add money to this thing and use it as a checking account. But you need one of these things, and then essentially what you do is when you want to spend money on the credit card, on this credit builder credit card, you just move money from your checking account to the credit card, and then that sets your limit. So essentially, like say you have both of these things. You got the checking account, you got the credit card, and you want to make a $100 purchase on the credit card. All you have to do is move $100 from your checking account to the credit card and then spend the $100 on the credit card. So that's why it's kind of like a debit card, because you put money on there and then you spend the money. But the thing about this is they're not reporting your credit utilization, which is a really good thing in this case, because if you put $100 on this credit card, you spent the $100, that would be 100% utilization because you spent all the money that you could, which would be really bad. That's really bad for your credit score. So a nice thing about this card is that they're not reporting your utilizations. You can just move over $100, spend $100, get the positive payment history, get the positive age of accounts, get all these positive factors added to your credit score without having to worry about spending too much on the card and having a high utilization, which is really nice. So TransUnion actually ran a study on this credit card because they're like, does this thing actually help you, you know? And over a 3-month period, they found that on average, it lifted people's credit score by about 30 points, which is pretty significant in the grand scheme of things. I mean, 30 points could make a little bit of difference in the interest rate that you get on a loan, could make you eligible for more credit cards. And so the card works, you know, it works, and it's a little bit different, you know, because it's kind of a secured credit card. It's kind of a charge card because you can't carry a balance on this thing. You put the money on first, then you spend the money. So it's this weird kind of product, but it works and it helps people build credit without having to have a hard inquiry on your credit report, have any fees, or have any interest charged to you. But it gets better because number 2 is the Tomo credit card. And I've talked a lot about the Tomo credit card in the past, but I think it's a really great option for people who do not want a hard inquiry on their credit report. They do not want to be paying any fees, any interest, and they want to get a credit card that is going to help them establish their credit for the long run. Additionally, with this card, you're also going to be earning some rewards, which is a big change from all the cards we talked about so far, where there are no rewards earnings potential. With this card, you're earning a flat 1% cash back on everything that you spend, with the potential to boost that all the way up to 20% cash back, depending on how many people you refer and get approved for Tomo credit cards. So each person you approve is going to boost your rewards earnings potential, and that's going to allow you to get all the way up to 20%. Now, the way this card works is a little bit different. So unlike the Chime card, which is kind of like a debit card, charge card combo, and unlike the self credit card, which is secured against your credit builder loan, this card is totally not secured, and it's set up in a different way. So essentially how this card works is it's going to auto pay itself off every 7 days. So you're going to spend money on this card. It's going to be linked to your bank account via Plaid, which is basically this way that accounts talk to each other. And the account's going to automatically pay itself off every 7 days. So say you spend $100 on this account, it's going to automatically take $100 from your checking account at the end of the week to pay this thing off automatically. And so because of that, they don't need to secure your credit card. They don't need to run a credit check on you because they're giving you a limit based on your average bank account balance. That's how they're going to establish your limit. They're going to look at that. They're going to look at a number of other factors, including your income, any direct deposit history into the account, and they're going to use that to establish how much limit they can give you on this card. And it's going to range anywhere from $100 to $10,000, depending on how much money you got in the account and how reliable they feel that you are as a borrower of this money. Additionally, what this means is that you can never miss a payment because it's set up on autopay, and the autopay will always go through. So you're never going to miss a payment on this thing, which is great for building your credit score. But there is an even better option that we're going to dive into right now. So option number one, credit card number 1 that is not going to run a hard inquiry on your credit report is an authorized user credit card. And I know this isn't a specific credit card, and I know if you've watched some of my credit card videos before, you'll know that I'm a very big advocate of the authorized user credit cards. But essentially, what an authorized user credit card is, it is when somebody else adds you as an authorized user to one of their credit cards. So say I have a credit card that I've had for 10 years, okay? And I add you as an authorized user to that card. What's going to happen is that you are going to get all 10 of those years of payment history, of credit utilization, of age of accounts, of all of these things that are going to boost your credit score. They're going to get added from my card to your credit report. And this is huge, okay? This is how I got to the 800 mark for the first time, building my credit. I got one of these things added to my credit report, and my score went up like 32 points in a single day. It was crazy, okay? I was like, how does this even happen? But that is the power of authorized user credit cards. And so the big downside with these things is that you need to find someone in your life who you can trust and who has very responsible credit history, because you get the good, but you also get the bad. So if you get added to an authorized user credit card that's got missed payments, that's gone into default, like this is going to be really big thumbs down for your credit score. But if you have a family member, if you have a relative, if you have a parent or a grandparent or someone who has a credit card that they've had for a long time and that has nothing but good stuff on it, you getting added to that is going to have a dramatic impact on your score, especially if you're just starting to build credit. And because it's not technically your credit card, there is no hard inquiry, there's no credit check that's being done for you to get approved for this thing. Now, one concern that a lot of people will have when you're pitching them on this, like say you're going to your parent and you're saying, hey, I would love it if you'd add me as an authorized user to your credit card. They're gonna say, well, what if you run up a bunch of debt on this thing? What if you tank my credit score? And so what you can do to kind of appease that concern is they don't even have to give you the card, okay? Like with an authorized user credit card, the important thing is that you get added. It does not matter if you ever spend money on this card, it does not matter if you ever have this card, if you ever use it, like they can just apply for the card, have it shipped to them, and they'll just hold on to it for you, you know? And you don't even have to use it. You don't have to see it. You don't have to have the numbers for it. And that's enough to just dramatically increase your credit score, is just to have the thing. So let me know in the comments below if you know of any other credit cards that are not going to check your credit report or not going to run a hard inquiry. And the next thing you should do is click the subscribe button down below and then check out this video over here where I do a full breakdown of the Tomo credit card top to bottom to show you exactly what you need to know, because there's a lot that goes into this credit card, a lot more than meets the eye. So you'll want to make sure you check out that video if you're thinking about going for the Tomo credit card.